swapping their roles too. So first you have Sneaky in there with Jensen, and then Sneaky and Keith together, and Sneaky's in the mid lane doing funnel, and then now Sneaky's not even here, and it's Keith and Golden Glue. And so through all that, C9 still has a 7-1 record, which is pretty amazing to consider.
Against the 4-4 Clutch Gaming, who we said are coming off that streak, they will ban Swain first. We'll see what C9 answers with. It's going to be that Aatrox to begin things.
Yeah, Aatrox being a big issue for a lot of people, and not surprised to see him on that kind of red side permaban list until some nerfs come into him, most likely.
Or maybe something he uses, I don't know. Probably just gonna have to be him, because everything around him is kind of balanced.
Yeah, I don't really know what a good matchup looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the Renekton not working out. I think there's probably a couple ranged ones, I would believe.
I feel like Renekton in itself could work out discussing it with people. Maybe, because if you actually walk at Infernal Chains, you break Infernal Chains, which causes them to have to level it earlier. Then you can slice or dice out of 1 and 2. He only hits 3. I don't know. It's all speculation. But it hasn't happened, so probably not.
Yeah, I feel like it was... I would believe it if someone told me, like, theoretically, yes, but maybe it makes Renekton have to play the matchup super aggro, and then he gets ganked once, and then we've seen what happens once he's behind.
It isn't optimal,
that's for run over. Yeah.
Not optimal. With the bans of Kindred, Talia, Nocturne, and Rakan rounding out phase 1. Zoe is going to charm things up here for Clutch Gaming Academy. I should say put him to sleep.
Yeah, so we'll have to see. I mean, that was kind of the thing that we were talking about, the red side permabans feeling like they should be Zoe, Nocturne, and Aatrox. The Zoe gets through kind of saying, you know what, son, we know you want to play this. Go ahead, try it. You heard Gabriel, coach of FlyQuest Academy, talking about the Rakan pick in particular being extremely scary. It used to be the kind of pick where it needed to play with Xayah to see effectiveness, but now that there's so many more other things it can combo with, you heard him saying that, you know, Swain works with it, you can run the Vladimir, or any of these kind of more all-in at 6 lanes, he provides great setup for.
So much safety in that pick as well. What you want. A lot of the initiation is all in, but you get the out with Rakan, and that's why he's usually on the out list. Got Tom Kench here locked in. Another Tom Jin lane coming in here for the red side. Cloud9 Academy will try their hand at that this time.
Yeah, Jin looks like he's coming back in force with some of those buffs that they had seen on some of the items, as well as the Tom Kench being a good pick just for protecting him in lane. I'll be curious to see what he goes for runes, because like I was saying, the Hail of Blades buff that came in this patch might have become his new go-to keystone, and maybe that was also enough of a buff to start having him see a lot of play. But we get Pyke in North America finally.
I love it. I absolutely love it. We didn't get to see too much. Alpha Moo playing a little bit, but now we actually get it on the Rift. See, Moon will give that to, I'm guessing, Vulcan here, unless Piglet's crazy on Pyke and we just don't know about it. Pink, Pyke, Piglet, here it goes. Now, Mundo picked up for Sun. We saw him banned out last game, so Max Trobo, who's been feeling good, will actually get a pretty big impact pick there.
Surprise? Well, we'll see what this ends up being. But to talk about the Pyke pick, yeah, it's something that I think is a lot of untapped potential in North America. And I'm excited to see what Vulcan can do, because we're talking about him kind of being the star support in Academy League, and we saw what star supports in Europe can do with it, as Hillisang ran over us with it. So
I try to forget, but it was so good. That Yasuo is locked in on the other side here for Golden Glue, so it looks like he is either going to be pretty aggressive or Keith likes Yasuo.
That was what was. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think you want to run that Jin mid, but it was interesting to me because you had the Trundle that they were hovering, and I was like, I like that because the Mundo's going to want to build resistances, and you help cut into that. And you think that there's going to be a lot of top lane bans, so I'm surprised they reached for that Yasuo pick, because you could have grabbed something that counters Mundo a little bit better and then maybe got the Yasuo later, or gone for that Trundle pick. They still have to ban out the top laners and then get the Yasuo instead. Not what they're going for, and as you see, some more bans coming in to protect that Mundo pick as a result.
Yeah, there's the Riven onto Shiro. There's the Heimerdinger, banned out for Clutch Gaming Academy.
Yeah, no one wants a piece of that guy. There's the Darius ban as well. So, you know, there's a chance. You know, Shiro has played a lot of carries in the top lane, and so C9 might have just been saying, it doesn't matter. Shiro will have a counter for it no matter what. It's not going to get banned out, so we'll have to see. Otherwise, you know, Jin will struggle to get through a Mundo.
Yeah, absolutely. It feels like you're just hitting a brick wall, or you see his health come back before you can get your next reload in to put a shot into him. You're like, oh, this isn't working out. Singed gets locked in for Shiro in the top lane, something we have been seeing a bit more of over the past few months. And now we're going to see what the answer is. A possible rise for Sun would be a for sure safe lock-in, and would stop that Singed from wreaking havoc as he runs into a fight.
we'll see what this gets locked in. It'll be interesting because that means Piglet will be playing the Rise most likely. Yeah. He's someone who actually had played a fair amount of Rise. Did play it when he had his brief midlet. A little bit of midlet. And there they go, grabbing themselves that Trundle pick, which I like a lot because they have no physical damage. They absolutely need some. The Trundle will shred the MR stacking that the...
Hey man, don't hate on Pike.
Actually, you know, as much as I'm joking, as you're joking about that, it does matter a little bit. It does matter a little bit.
Mostly early.
Yeah, that they do have it, so they have a little bit of a damage composition. But the Trundle pick makes a lot of sense, brings more physical, shreds MR, sets people up. And like you were saying, there's good lockdown with that Rise as well for both top laners who just kind of want to run at people.
We got the Gragas as well, going to fit into the jungle this time. So that's a pretty big power pick we've been seeing lately. But Blabber going to try his hand on the man.
I like both team comps here. They're both pretty interesting. Yeah. C9 going a little bit more standard. You know, they have frontline, they have magic damage, they have physical damage. Clutch Gaming have all magic damage as well as having that mage down the bot lane with the Pyke setting up a bit of a kill lane. You know, if Rise can ever just root somebody, you get the free E follow-up by the stun that comes in from Pyke's move. I can't remember the name of it.
His dashes?
His E.
Well, now I can't remember. Put me on the spot.
I played a lot of
remember when he does it in game. When I see it, it'll happen easy.
That's the magic. That's the Riv magic.
Compositions on your screen: 7-1. Cloud9 Academy, Clutch Gaming 4-4. And we'll see now with Solo back on the main roster if they can keep that momentum going on the top side of the map.
Like we were saying with the Piglet, I mean, a lot of people associate him and just think, ah, man, he's such a good marksman player. Why would you want him to play anything else? But we've seen his Vladimir before. We've seen his Ari. We've seen his Rise. It's actually pretty respectable. And he's one of those guys in solo queue who loves getting filled. Well, I shouldn't say he loves that. He likes playing mages and Lee Sin a little bit. Doesn't really want to play top or support. So not quite a fill player, but does like branching out into other carry roles. And that experience is going to see if it can help him on the Rise pick.
The question is he enjoying that Rise pick? No, I'm just kidding.
I think he, maybe, I don't know. There was also an interview with him where he was like, this kind of sucks.
I feel like the diversity to a point is interesting, but there's an inkling for a player that's always had one specific role at kind of a bad part in the game is the thought would probably be, I wish I was on that 80. I wish I was in this moment. But you just got to throw that thought out the window, lock in what the team needs, and that's what, crazily enough, League has become a lot about, is playing that variety around the map. Who can have kind of the bigger champion pool or just the more mechanical prowess on a bigger set of champions.
And it's kind of thing, too, where ideally you see some more buffs come in for Marksman because while the class is still viable, it's a pretty small subset of the class that people are playing.
Right.
This Jhin also taking the Hail of Blades, maybe seeing enough of a buff to start breaking into that viable Marksman class, and a few other buffs coming in hopefully over the time that will get more of the Sivers back, the Caitlyn's back, some of these more, because Jhin, even though he builds crit, is not really your typical crit marksman by any means.
Nope. This guy is just casting and slinging spells everywhere, hoping to land a big boom at one point in time. That big bada boom. This looks fun. Shiro already being a menace here to Max Trobo. And it looks like Moon's going to say, do what you got to do. Me coming over to you, waste my resources. I'll focus on lane. Bot lane getting a lot of focus as Smoothie's down to 100 HP with that Ignite going down and Smoothie's Flash being expended.
Yeah, Vulcan and Pyke have a really strong level 2 spike with the QE and the spreading of runes by Piglet's E allow them to get that push advantage.
Ooh, a little bit of shield there as he builds up his Wanderer shield once more. Oh, nice block.
I'm excited to keep my eyes on Golden Glue over the course of this game because he's actually been performing very well on the LCS level. And he was one of the last Academy players who had moved up to the LCS team to move back down because his performance was so good that C9 even tried a Jensen and Golden Glue combo.
Yep.
And, you know, that team also got a big lead that eventually got thrown away. So
absolutely. That was their TSM C9 match. So yeah, definitely a very important match that they played those two in.
I want to see Golden Glue continue that momentum, though, and have really dominating performances, and hopefully they can continue to close out the games because that hasn't been an issue for the Academy rosters thus far.
Quick hits to Keith. Not much unless they locked him down for a longer period of time. Ouch. Looks like he's just clearing it. He's obviously got his potions of corruption and his ring now, so he's going to be able to heal up nice and easy. But you can see MarkZ play in the lane for, you might be baiting me, and Blabber could be here. He's in mid, though, waiting just on a ward. As Sun says, a little too quiet towards the bot side of the map and stays safe.
It feels like that top lane will be a pretty uninteractive one with Shiro, as you do in many Singed matchups, trying to avoid laning directly. You just want to clear the waves and then run around. See the aggression in the mid.
Nice block. Ooh, almost getting that onto Blabber, but he casts it a little bit short as they go for the clear to try and get the minions under the turret. Shiro forcing MarkZ into his now, seeing a little bit of aggression towards the mid lane. He has time to run free, and you may start getting that proxy on once more. Moon now heading down towards the bot. It looks like he's just going to solidify some vision.
Pike pick also being interesting because they saw the Tahm Kench and Jhin already, and I can see the thinking that, oh, that's a good trade by Piglet. I can see the thinking that I'll pull the Jhin away from the Tahm Kench so he can't eat him, and then maybe that can get you a kill with a guaranteed lockdown CC that comes in from the Rise as well. A lot of nice combos and setups that you can do. We already talked about the route into Phantom Undertow, as I totally remembered that on my own and did not have a producer tell me, being another combo.
I also love the fact that you kind of force Smoothie.
Oh,
boy! Shiro got himself in a little too much trouble over here. Let's see if he's got it. Can he work the honey perfectly? Oh, the flash. He says, I'm not even giving this to chance. If Shiro could have made it a flash over the wall and then expended more time. First blood going to MarkZ. Nice and clean on the top side.
Yeah, nice pick up Diller. Make sure to get himself a little bit extra gold.
Yeah.
Shiro does what Singed do, but a little bit too low.
A little too low. As I was saying about Vulcan and Smoothie, if he dashes with Phantom Undertow, Smoothie's almost forced to preemptively eat Keith because he doesn't know if Vulcan's going to appear on the other side with a flash or whatnot. That Phantom always follows you to your destination, so they can get that out early in the lane, chase them down. There's one of them, brings it through, doesn't get the stun onto Smoothie. That would have been the play, and it cannot also get the jump on the Spell Flux to take down Keith.
Gotta wonder if he should have burned his flash there. It was so close, it did look like it was lined up correctly, so I can see why Vulcan didn't feel like he needed to, but as a result, Smoothie's able to escort Keith far enough away that he can then flash himself. But this lane looking pretty rough for C9 Academy's bot lane, as this TP is going to come in way ahead of the Tahm Kench. They're going to dive this.
Oh, bad news bears for Keith. He knows this was a mistake. Bone skewered back, waiting for the kill to go over to Piglet, and Aries going to pick that one up with Moon having just enough turret aggro.
Really well played there by Clutch Gaming. As soon as they saw that TP come in, they know there's no way the Tahm Kench is there as well. Very free dive, and had just enough vision control to feel safe that there wasn't a Gragas coming in behind it.
Didn't you read a tweet just before the game that said it would be interesting if they nerf teleport to not be able to stop it? That's the result you would get a lot of the time.
Yeah, Meteos tweeted out before the game.
Oh, Meteos
It was
tweeted
Meteos who tweeted it, yeah. He said it would be a funny nerf to see teleport made so you cannot cancel it once you cast it. And
well,
that is what you'd see a lot more of.
Absolutely. A quick flip from Shiro as he heads out towards the top side. Blabber gets himself a good slow as he says, yes, I have a blast cone. No worries, brother. And get themselves some, I call them gummies. I love it.
Ooh, that's not bad.
But the honey fruit is picked up as they make their way back into safe, I should say safe territory, but Shiro's right back at it.
Yeah, I mean, Shiro doesn't know what side of the map is his. He thinks he has the whole map under his control, and we'll probably have the run of it for a little bit until they're forced to start grouping up more.
Ooh. Vulcan coming in nice and invisible, so he cannot be seen. Golden Glue was about to initiate with Blabber. Cask is down now as they focus the top side of the map. I believe they might, no, they did not actually see Moon on that play. So now with Blabber, this information of where he is, we'll see if they start something on the bot side.
Good job by Piglet hanging back, waiting for support to meet back up with him after pressuring a little bit on the top side. As some marksman players, are bot laners, struggle.
Get back to lane all willy-nilly.
Well,
Get yourself hurt.
happened to Keith.
Happened to Keith, go figure. Shiro now towards the top side. He's been playing the touch and go game. Now all healthy. He's got another Dark Seal for himself, but a little bit more damage, so that's going to start to sting. Actually, Spectral's Cowl really helps MarkZ keep that regen up as well each time he takes damage, so may not affect it too much. Bot lane love for the blue buff.
This is a tough one for me for Shiro because on the one hand, I understand that you want your Rylai's pretty much as soon as you can get it, as well as having a little bit extra AP, make your wave clear much easier, but I would like to see him itemize a fair amount of MR this game. Yes, it will get shredded by the Trundle a little bit. Yes, you have your ultimate to give you some and things like that, but it's such a magic damage heavy composition by Clutch Gaming. I really would not mind seeing him get some early MR.
It's a lot of vision. 3 pink wards down on the bot side of the map. Just look at all the vision that they have. But right now, eyes on mid lane, and Sun gets blanked out.
That was very clean by Golden Glue. Didn't even have to use his flash to really get that one. Blabber did to follow up and get the body slam off, but that's a big punish on Sun, who lost his flash on the first attempt.
Holy macaroni, he didn't have a chance to think about that one. Nice job with the flash down, as he said, to re-engage, and now they will keep that pressure a little bit towards mid lane. They say, yeah, Max Strobel wants to defend, we'll get the hits on him, doesn't have the last breath. Oh, but they put him back near the Steel Tempest, and he gets cut down by Golden Glue. Blabber with the marksman cask.
Really nice combo there by C9 Academy. They thought Blabber had moved on to go back into the bot side, but they actually find a kill on the Moon, who's trying to protect that minion wave as it went into the turret a little bit.
Oh, do they do it again? Do they do it again? Let's see if Blabber goes back. Here's the replays, though, on both of those kills, probably.
Yeah, and good use of the E's by Golden Glue there, Eing onto the back line. Previously, make sure he has one more for Sun.
Painful.
They get that kill. And here's the return as Moon's just trying to scrap a little bit with Golden Glue, just doesn't expect that to come in. And like you said, nice snipe out on the bounce back with the cask. And that's the TP! That's the TP Meteos wants to see complete.
Probably not anymore. So we actually saw going down there the kill onto Sun and then onto Moon. Not really helping out for Clutch Gaming. That damage on the turret preps it for C9 here to make more moves in the mid lane. Blabber was able to get himself over and deny some farm, and red buffs were transferred over there to Golden Glue, so he had stolen that away from Moon at the time. Little things going against Clutch Gaming right now. Yeah, both Celestial bodies dying back to back made it pretty difficult to maintain control over their buffs, and makes it even harder for Sun from here on out, because you can just keep going in like that. Ooh, you have to think if that tornado hit, and you might want to take that one. Pressure to mid. You can see Moon working the sweeper already. It does not look like Golden Glue's going to bite. He says, yeah, real quiet in the mid lane. I'll head towards my jungler. This does give them Mountain Drake possession. It seems like they're going to be able to take this without uncontested, rather.
Yeah, on the side of C9 Academy, given that feels like you are in control of the game right now, you don't mind losing a Mountain Dragon. It's one of the worst dragons to get from behind. It doesn't do anything if you're currently losing the game, which is kind of the case right now.
Wow, that stings for Shiro. Going for all that damage first makes him a bit squishy. It's going to be a quick bone skewer. Did Vulcan actually want all of that? Abyssal Voyage comes through. Vulcan's in the middle of the fight, and he actually slows her. Zanya's himself before he can get the stun off. And it looks like Airborne over on the spot. They don't go in for the ultimate, and now Smoothie's on Grey Health, getting himself to safety with Golden Glue being down already. They need to run. Keith trying to deliver damage back as Clutch Gaming just encroaching further up the lane.
And they make me eat my words instantly. They're not losing the game. They win a 5v5 in the mid lane. And some really nice play by Clutch in that fight. The way Piglet uses ultimate to get Moon out, but still keep them in range to continue threatening a different part of the front line of that fight. Is there Piglet? Oh my God!
Bye-bye.
Q'd, then flashed to follow up, and he got an E mark off on the Q before it went. Did I see that right? That was some really clean Rise play. I would love to see if I saw that correctly or if I'm just amazed at Piglet for no reason.
Piglet's been like, this is all I practice. What are marks?
Why not? I mean, that guy's been playing forever. I would sure he doesn't mind branching out a little bit.
Absolutely. Wards to be cleared out. We'll see this again from mid, and then most likely that bot side.
Yeah, so they blow a fair amount onto Vulcan early on, but he has the stopwatch to get out. Watch Piglet's ult here to protect Moon and get him out, but still put them in range to threaten Shiro, which forces Smoothie to eat him and run away. And then that good follow-up by Sun finding that first kill and kind of allowing them to continue to press down. I think he Qs, then flashes, and then lands the E as the Q is in flight here. Yeah, Oh, that's a combo.
That's dirty.
Yeah, don't flash Q. You want that Q in the air already, so he has no time to react. Very sick kill by Piglet.
It's like throwing a football at yourself.
Yeah, basically.
That's great. Dang. Piglet with the plays. 2-0-1 on Rise. And they've been pretty aggressive on that bot side of the map, pushing in Keith and Smoothie, trying to go for Smoothie mostly as you would. That safety for Keith. They haven't been able to solidify those kills, but Piglet being able to branch out has been able to lock a few down. Just a 500 gold lead right now, coming up on 14 minutes. But this turret in mid being very close to drop is going to open up the map for Cloud9.
Yeah, while that 5v5 was good, they still have to worry about some of these lanes on the side of Clutch Gaming. The mid lane was not going super well for them. That turret's very close to dropping, so they could be losing control of the middle of the map very shortly here. But in the meantime, I mean, those fights looked very good for them.
So what is the next phase kind of for Cloud9? Slow pushes around the map? Do they want to get Clutch Gaming to group and put these fights together?
Yeah, I think C9 wants to kind of keep this map split up a little bit. They want Shiro running around, making it so Max Strobo's having a tough time clearing waves up in the top side, so he can go roam to mid, steal jungle camps, and then they probably want to break this mid turret open as soon as they can, whereas on Clutch's side, their bot lane was working out for them. They probably want to try and blow that one open pretty soon. Doesn't look like they'll be able to defend this, though.
Whoa, the ultimate back possibly? He waits on it. The travel time actually allows Clutch to get themselves to safety, but still, Blabber is just huge right now to actually put down that much power, and Clutch Gaming not wanting to activate.
That was a bit of a mistake, but it wasn't able to be punished because Shiro has the advantage from the top side. And so Blabber can go as aggressive as he wants. He can go and flash in there and kind of posture up on them, show them that they can't do anything about it, and then they're able to break that mid lane turret and grab the gold lead back.
Stepping up, get in my belly. Still like, no, man, step away. You took a turret, that's all you need. It looks like they might get another one at top side here. Just a few more 100 HP as we'll probably see Shiro hit this one after playing a bit around the map. Depends on what the team wants. It seems like he's gonna head bottom for now. And maybe we'll see top side get taken with Keith and Smoothie here. I'm sorry, as Golden Glue takes that. My brain was thinking he was going up to defend it.
Golden Glue says, I want that gold. I'm a Yasuo. I got my Phantom Dancer done already. Get me some more crit items. I'm going to hit that 100% crit Yasuo.
He is. See if he can hit it quick. 1-1-1, so he's not spiked up too much to hit those power points early. He does get a BF sword, though, so that'll put a little bit more hurt on those crits. There's always a thing back in the day when you start playing the game, you're like, yeah, I want crit. I want crit. And you forget, you're like, I can't do damage if I don't crit damage, so I need to buy damage too. He puts that VF sword in the inventory as Piglet gets head up. Whoa. We'll now see if Cloud9 can start applying some of that damage. Sun on the other side of the fight, Smoothie, Keith, and Blabber on the bot side as Golden Glue now enters, slicing and dicing his way through, ultimate and everything used down onto Moon as he goes for Vulcan now. Very low, he gets taken down with the Pike ultimate from below. And now it's gonna be Max Strobo finding himself in a sore spot as Cloud9 recoup and reassess. They take the fight in their favor.
Very critical in that fight was the fact they took down Piglet at the start of it, the main source of kind of DPS for Clutch Gaming at this point. They find that kill early, and then as the rest of the teams converge and it ends up being a full-blown 5v5, they just don't have any way to really finish many people off. Golden Glue ended up going a little bit deep, and Vulcan was able to grab that kill, but
it's the buy, man. I just bought a BF sword. I'm all in.
I'm power spiking, baby.
Power spiking. I love that feeling. Everybody has it. You just got to figure out how much damage you do after the spike. Here is how much damage they all did.
And I can understand why Piglet thinks he's safe. They have really good vision control in the bot river, but Blabber finds an angle onto him where he doesn't know what's coming in. He does stay alive for a fair amount of time here, but popped
around
right as that ult completes, and then Keith and Smoothie show up at the same time, making sure it's equal strength, and then finally Golden Glue is able to get in the backside, flashes over the wall just to get involved in this, but allows them to kind of zone away Vulcan and Sun to make sure that they're actually able to win this fight.
And Dargon being taken during the replay as Max Strobo skittles out of that fight. Skittles, skitters, limps, whatever have you. Shiro back to top here as they start to once again spread that map. Mountain Drakes picked up by Clutch Gaming definitely helped their cause trying to stop Cloud9 from pushing forward, and would mean big things if this team of Clutch got to the turrets. They don't exactly have turret destruction on their team coming from this composition.
No, not quite the best, but with those changes way back in 8-11 does make it a little bit easier for those magic damage champions to take them down. But
they'll get chunky.
Yeah, still going to struggle a little bit. Cloud9, despite the kills being equal, the farm being pretty close, all things considered, big advantage of map pressure with the global goal from those turrets dropping, as well as the proxy farming Shiro able to start getting a lead on the Mundo.
I think this is one of the things Cloud9 does very well in this team to be doing so good at 7-1 is they have a lot of distraction. They know when to stop using that distraction when it might be too much. If Shiro's died once, but then he corrected that a lot, even still being very squishy, is getting in and out, distracting Sun, distracting them in the mid lane so that the rest of Cloud9 can make moves around the map. Now at 20 minutes, Clutch is able to start answering back. They get top down first, and we'll see how this opens up the map.
Yeah, trying to find their way back as they finally get their first turret, but it is going to be an uphill battle. Going to need some more of those good team fights that we saw initially in the mid lane. To your point about like C9 Academy at 7-1 and how it feels like they have probably the best full 10-man roster. Yeah. It's one of the things that they struggle with in the LCS is closing games out, but in Academy, where people are a little bit sloppier and they're missing some of that advanced macro play, it's not as much of an issue. So their raw talent can really carry them to that 7-1, where each of these players are pretty much almost LCS ready, all 10 across the board. And it's more about the fact that, like, well, when you get to the LCS and the other teams are better as well, they don't quite have the synergy to close games. Ooh, he pulled him into the Drowsy. Didn't quite work.
Like it, like the combo. A lot of the time as well, I feel you kind of see new players. They'll come in, they'll be very hot, they'll do well, and while there's pressure there, it's also that the other players, the other professional players, figure out your style. They understand how you play, what you want to do, what your next move might be, and you aren't as impactful. So you always have to be fresh in that manner too. Yeah,
I mean, if you think about it, when you play C9 main squad in the LCS these days, you don't suddenly worry if you fall behind. You say, well, let's just sit back. They haven't been able to close many games out. We'll probably find an opportunity. Whereas if you're consistently closing games out, suddenly teams don't feel as comfortable when they fall behind, and they themselves make more mistakes. So
that's a great point.
Kind of a snowball effect of consistently failing at a certain aspect of the game.
Baron now on the map. Surprised it hasn't gotten a bit more attention, but there were some turrets that needed that priority first to make sure top didn't just have an easy escape for either team. Mid's getting pushed in here for Cloud9 so they can start getting some attention from Clutch Gaming on this second tier turret, and they will. Here comes Vulcan just from the side, and Blabber looks like they might want to initiate on this. He has just been pulling the trigger with the team behind him, one after the other. A lot of the damage is still focused on the turret as the rest of Cloud9 is taking damage, but they're able to micro in and out, find the turret and the damage on the Max Trobo. Shiro, happy to be bone skewered in, says, I'll be for dinner and give you dessert, as they make their way out 5-5. It doesn't look like anybody's going to fall on this one, but a heck of a back and forth always for these turrets.
Felt like that was a definite opportunity for Clutch to try and pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Piggle was up on the top side. You see that minion wave that just crashing into the turret now that Golden Glue is going to pick up. Maybe put a little bit too much priority into pushing on that because Golden Glue is able to get up there, collect most of that wave after taking the mid lane turret, and Piglet was a bit of a non-factor, had TP up the entire time, had the Rise ultimate up, and maybe could have looked for a big flank because it didn't feel like there was enough to stop that with just Max Trobo in the flank.
Shiro, duty to the bot side now, as you would expect. Might even, would we get the full 1-3-1 from Cloud9 Academy? Are they going to try and split Clutch Gaming that thin, or do they need kind of Golden Glue in that fight if it does?
I think what we've seen out of them thus far is what they want to keep doing. They want to get the global pressure and then all converge into one lane or position. So all 5 of them ended up in the mid lane to take that turret, but then they quickly break back out and avoid the full 5v5. Do that again, you're going to see Shiro split down the bot side. Doesn't have his TP, but eventually they're going to probably try and turn that onto the Baron buff because with Golden Glue at that 100% crit, they take the Baron down pretty quickly.
Look at the bees. We'll see if Clutch Gaming can get some vision down. Already good amount towards the top side of the map, but this composition of being able to drowsy somebody, room prison, bone skewer, they have a lot of that front end nuke that can take somebody down. Golden Glue and the rest of the team are not putting themselves in that single person position though, staying in the team. Oh, uh-oh. I'm eating crow on that one. Keith gets hit up by the bubble, but not drowsy enough. They slap him back awake.
That's why that Tahm Kench is picked with that Jhin.
Absolutely.
Not always the most mobile champion. Does get hit by some skill shots, and so you get that get out of jail free card that is Tahm Kench.
Kind of hard to miss. You're always going to hit Gragas.
When he's clearing a ward especially.
Yeah. Full vision.
Not too much juking going on.
What do we got? Another Mountain Drake. Wow. RNG gods playing in favor here of Clutch Gaming Academy, but do they have the pressure to say, we can do this? No. It's going to be uncontested for Cloud9, but does this give them the vision top lane to start dancing for a fight that could be theirs?
I like, with that double Mountain Dragon, Clutch is usually fairly slow Baron team. Maybe can have enough pressure to bait C9 into face checking this, but it doesn't feel like they're really committing to it as Piglet re-shows in the mid lane, Zoe's going to show, or excuse me, top lane, Zoe shows in the mid lane, and now that they know, all right, Blabber, stick on that dragon, you're fine. We're just fighting for vision control up here.
Quick brute force them off. A good push by Piglet, as we were saying. That'll need some janitorial duty soon from Cloud9, so we'll see who respects that. Golden Glue starts to head towards the top side. There's a few drowsy bubbles head over the wall. Everybody is looking for the best possible engage here, and what summoner spell or what ability is going to say, that's down, I feel good about going in. Nothing for now.
Nothing for now.
Nothing for now.
Blabber is the guy who has the most power in that regard this game.
True.
With the Gragas Flask being able to blow somebody back, and especially Sun without his flash. Piglet not very mobile as a Rise. There are a fair amount of targets that he can try and blow back into the team, and then you have the Golden Glue ult follow up and all these other champions that can get some damage down on that target that you vaulted back.
Money bags there in mid lane, 2,000 gold just about over everybody on the other side of the map. At 11,000 to himself. As we see Clutch being a little sneaky here and playing very true to their name.
Yeah, but Vulcan is taking a lot of damage doing this.
I mean, Piglet could be the secondary in that situation. So he's not actually being the one that micros in and out the rest of his life. Blabber! Oh, I bet you he was wishing he did that over the wall now. Baron goes over to Clutch Gaming. What a play, and great timing to take it down uncontested.
Man, that's that double Mountain Dragon we're talking about.
Yep.
C9 is thinking, all right, they don't have a great team for doing Baron very quickly. Piglet's in the top lane. You see Max Turbo down the bot lane. Those are the two best members. You don't think it's going to get to half HP with just a Pike and a Trundle, but it does. And so by the time Piglet and Sun actually get over there, they're able to burst it down pretty quickly. And just a very lazy recall by C9 Academy. Everyone was back in base, and Blabber just walks up and throws a barrel. No sense of urgency, like it was a possibility of going down.
And I actually love this buy from Vulcan, the Frozen Heart to come in on every single champion, basically, after that side of Cloud9.
Yeah, definitely.
What a hit.
Impact Golden Glue. It's one of those things that's hard for Pikes to itemize with how his passive works. So he's just going to find one that does actually have a lot of impact in the game.
What is next? Mid vision, okay, just thrown down. I was gonna say there's a lack of wards, but I'd say let's fight over this one.
It does feel a little difficult for Clutch. I mean, it's nice that they got the Baron, but feels like they're gonna need to try and split up a little bit more. Piglet going back down to the bot lane feels like the right decision. Just use those Baron creeps as best you can.
Oh, Sleepy Cleanse. Himself the safety. Quicksilver Sash purchased after the Undefeated Edge and Phantom Dancer here for Golden Glue. Ooh, Honey goes down. That's a quick slow in. Damage is huge, but Shiro needs to be careful. The super minions are taking him down, or I should say Baroned up minions. Piglet gets himself to safety as Golden Glue and the rest of the team assess the fight. Max Trobo gets knocked up, but he still wants Smoothie. Forced to get his flash on. Yes, over the wall as Max Trobo follows. Quickly hitting the Bass Cone, giving himself a little bit more room, but Max Trobo sticks to him like glue as Shiro continues to exit on the right side.
Good collapse by Clutch Gaming there, barely able to get Piglet out in time, who almost died, but the stopwatch plus flash gets him just barely out. And you saw Shiro got chunked out super hard by Piglet and those creeps. Yep. Probably wants some more MR. I'm going to keep saying that anytime I see him get chunked out by a Rise that hard.
And here they are at the turrets now. We see what Clutch Gaming can do as soon as they get a bit of that lead, and they did find a few hits. It was once Cloud9 spread out, they didn't have that chance to gather back together, and Clutch Gaming activated. Oh, interesting round warp. Didn't seem like everybody was on the same page. Oh, skewered back off of the flash. Blabber with 400 HP burns down from Sun, and it's going to be a hell of a fight. 1-for-1 to start things off as Shiro falls, giving the advantage to Clutch Gaming. The power play now onto the mid lane turret at 30 minutes for Clutch Gaming is going to take it down. 30 seconds left onto Baron, and they will make the retreat, possibly to top lane.
Yeah, they got a big minion wave coming in. Only 20 seconds left on the Baron, and
it's going to be scary.
Coming in 30 seconds, so they don't want to get too greedy, but it does feel like they might be able to finish this one off very quickly.
Piglet, put the damage on the turret. You don't need those. It doesn't look like they're going to engage. He's going to be all right. The world-class brain knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Riv, you'd be 100 gold cheaper if that was you in the game. I thought the same thing. It's one of those things you're like, just get the turret.
Just do it.
Yeah, I don't know. Works out for him in the end after a good teleport flank in some ways. It stops Blabber from being able to run left. He needs to run straight back then as a result, which sets Vulcan up to find that hook and kill. Shiro gets the flip back and ult as a result from Golden Glue going in, but that leads to his own demise. So they do trade out for the Zoe, but it gives them one more death as well. So 1-for-1 after they already had killed Blabber, and they grab 4 turrets in total, all the inners as well as that one bot lane outer. And actually, it was 5 because the mid outer was out as well. So they were down about 3K before that Baron buff hit. Now they're up 2.
A little harder now for Cloud9 to want to distribute themselves around the map, knowing Clutch Gaming, they just pull the trigger and go down a lane at this point if they have the minion wave. Top is already set up at River. Bottom has kind of reset itself at River as well. So that pressure is relieved, and Cloud9 focus on getting mid and then getting some wards forward. Right now, everything's defensive, and they actually have 1 ward. No teleports up, but that pink ward backed by their red buff could be big later for Clutch Gaming.
We'll have to see, as it looks like it feels like C9 are starting to group up more and more as things get harder for them.
No.
As Moon
the lead, having such a lead, the confidence might have gotten the better of Clutch Gaming, leaving Moon alone in mid lane. The team flies forward. Now onto Max Trobo, the ultimate about to wear off, so they're going to be able to start cutting him down. Sun trying to deliver the Drowsy over the wall, and it's taken him a hell of a time to take down Max Trobo, but it's still not enough for Clutch Gaming to have any answer in the fight as C9 start Ocean Trade.
I need to see what Moon thought he was doing there. It
Yeah.
felt like he was trying to cut a minion wave randomly in the middle of 5 people.
Really far out.
And he lived for a very long time, almost enough for Clutch to get involved in that fight. And then Max Trobo also frontlining by himself after Sun was forced to flash out for a very long time as well. But there was no angle for Piglet to get involved in that fight. And like we were saying, he's basically your main DPS threat in this comp.
In the inventories and what has been purchased here on these last buys, we have at least 3 core items on the majority of members, with that Zanya's and other effects being brought through to kind of give yourself a few more safeguards in the fight, so everybody has to be aware of those. And actually another one picked up by Blabber here as he just gets himself out of base. See this fight again.
Yeah, so just kind of running at Keith.
Yeah.
Not respecting the fact that all 5 members are there. So is able to live a very long time with the Trundle ult protecting him. But once he drops, you see Shiro just charges at Sun as... Not going to look at the rest of that replay. It wasn't much else to see. That was the 1 kill anyways.
It was a long time for Max Trobo to go down.
Yeah.
But that's scary, right? Max Trobo and Moon went down before there could be an answer due to the positioning in the fight. You want your tanks to be taking all the damage. Vulcan continuously skewering, serving up the barbecue over here by Blue Buff. The Realm Warp comes in. I don't think anybody's going to follow on that one as they quickly take down Smoothie. A lot of miscommunication by Cloud9 as they really had no reason to be in the jungle.
Yeah, they were really pinned up against that wall for a long period of time, eating hooks from Vulcan, eating a pillar by Moon. They had no way to get out, and that was a bit of a shooting gallery for Sun.
Well, they still want back in. Smoothie or not, they're going for the fight, and they take down Moon. A way better grab than taking down a Tahm Kench. And with that smite down, Clutch Gaming have to kind of flex here. They have to say, we're not afraid, because C9 could go for that Baron.
And that's the exact kind of play that LCS teams just usually don't have happen to them, where you get a kill, things are working out well for you, you try and get back on the map to influence it, and someone else gets picked off. It's one of those things where, yes, C9 got punished a little bit, but Moon and the rest of Clutch Gaming instantly make a similar mistake right after, and it stalls the game out, whereas you make that mistake as the main C9 roster, you maybe die, and then they get complete Baron control, and they have their second Baron of the game.
Absolutely crazy. You have to play the situation the same way. Even if you take down an opponent, play it just as dangerous. You do not want to lose one of your members. Cloud9 now playing strong. No jungler here to take this one down as Moon comes out of the base, and C9 back in the driver's seat of a completely even game.
Yeah, Moon making a couple mistakes the past couple minutes of this game that have really allowed C9 to kind of claw their way back into this soon-to-be gold lead after they grab that Baron buff. And that's pretty tragic for Clutch, who have been able to sneak their way back into this game as well. It's been a very back-and-forth game. And
so
now,
much sneakiness.
A lot of sneaking around. Now they're sneaking in the bot jungle, trying to find kills. One thing I forgot to mention, which is a pretty important interaction between Tahm Kench and Pyke, is that Pyke's ultimate is an execute at certain HP values. And what that means is the Tahm Kench gray health does nothing against it if he's below that value. So if you're at, let's say the threshold's 500 HP, you're at 450 and you drop a 2000 HP gray health shield, well, your technical HP is still at 450, which is below 500, so you just get insta-gibbed, which is a pretty big reason why it is strong into that pick.
See Smoothie, few members already going down to that death from below. 3-0-3 for Vulcan. Starting with the Frozen Heart to really try and shut down the rest of Cloud9, but finally getting a little bit of that health in for more damage.
As counterintuitive as that sounds, I bought health for damage.
It's too cool, man. I love those passives like Vladimir and all that good stuff. Shiro now onto the top turret. Those hits are actually pretty powerful coming from him and the minions. Golden Glue will add in a few more shots as Cloud9 pressuring two sides, top and mid. Bot lane has a gigantic wave that'll only reach the turret in another minute and a half, but will be even bigger when it gets there. If Clutch Gaming win this fight, they could be inside Cloud9's base.
Gotta be very, very careful here for both teams, as either team fight could lead to a base starting to get destroyed, maybe even the end of the game. Does look like C9's gonna back off instead, though.
They say, look at this wave! I must farm. Yeah, it's gonna be Shiro's. You want to pick that one up, not let it get any bigger, and control at least a few waves of pressure around the map.
And good to see him actually going and starting to heavily itemize MR finally. I'm assuming that's going to turn into a adaptive helm. Could be a Spirit Visage. Both make some sense on Singed. But there is a fair amount of repetitive magic damage. Mundo Cleavers, Piglet's E's and Q's. I think technically the Moon ultimate DPS tick counts as well.
Subjugate hit?
Yeah, I think it does.
Interesting. Let's see why not. Unless it's like you've been debuffed and now you're just getting debuffed more. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it won't, I think it's just the DPS hit. But who knows? Either way is the adaptive helm. Hooray.
He's got it. He's got a lot of things on his head. It's like Max Trovo has put on like
He's got two masks and a helmet.
Shirts right now.
What order do you put those on your? The helmet has to be last. Oh no, maybe the helmet's. I don't know.
The helmet's first. You put a mask over the helmet.
It's mask, helmet, mask.
Because that's how Knight's helmet works, anyways. It is a helmet with a fold-down mask.
Yeah, but I'm saying, what order do you put a mask on before the helmet, or is it two masks on top of a helmet?
There's too much thinking. Okay. By that time, you're just gonna want to take it all off, anyways.
Okay.
Whoa, Realm Warp! They are right behind of Cloud9 Academy. Piglet takes a whole lot of damage to start things off. Flipped back by Shiro as they both go down basically instantly as Max Trobo is getting the chase. Moon heads towards the top side of the map. Vulcan gets himself out quickly with that Phantom Undertow. We'll see if Max Strobo can keep going. A Drowsy just misses. The follow is still there. Possible slows, stuns, and lockdowns to take down Max Strobo as Cloud9 get the fight they want. Golden Glue still with the Guardian Angel if they want to go for broke here.
Very aggressive engage by Clutch Gaming too, halting way behind as they dive.
There it is, going for broke indeed. They played their hand onto Moon, knowing he can be quite a bit of the disengage to get this fight or continue this fight for Clutch Gaming. Vulcan and Sun now on either side in such an awkward position of Cloud9 Academy are going to go down. At least Sun falls first.
And with that, most likely the game 4 dead on the side of Clutch Gaming Academy. C9 has a couple minions, including one almost dead cannon creep, but it will be enough as they tank up the turrets themselves to go ahead and finish out this game.
What a back and forth. Clutch Gaming coming in, trying to continue that 4-win streak coming off of last week, but Cloud9 say we're first, and this is how it happens. Cloud9 takes down Clutch Gaming.
Turning some of that aggression back onto themselves. Moon getting cut, trying to get into the wave one time. That next one, as a result of a TP using the Rise ultimate behind them, gets them all caught out of position. And really punishing the side of Clutch Gaming for looking for their own opportunities.
Absolutely. We also saw Cloud9 getting a little punished themselves at times in the game, playing a little lackluster, feeling like they maybe had too much of a lead, but we saw that from both sides, and that's why it kept going back and forth.
Yeah, I mean, that's the exact point that I was kind of hitting on, where I was saying, you know, if you make these mistakes against LCS caliber teams, you probably lose the game. You give up a free Baron after having a 3K gold lead, that might be the end of the game. You get picked off as the next Baron spawns, might be the end of the game. But both times, Clutch Gaming made enough mistakes to allow C9 back in.
It's crazy to think that in that situation, as I was saying, to your point, is like we have taken down one of the enemy champions. We need to still play like that enemy champion is on the Rift.
Especially if it's the support. I mean, you killed the Tom Kench, great for you. That means it's very easy to control vision now, but that doesn't mean you can just run around and not die out of nowhere. And so it was Moon, of course, who made that mistake, and once you lose your smite, enemy team's going straight to Baron.
Straight to Baron, they did, and throughout the action here, we get to the final play where Cloud9 was able to clamp down and figure out what really Clutch Gaming wanted to do with their composition.
And you see Piglet pull this ultimate off to try and cut them off from running behind the turret, but Shiro takes that frontline responsibility. They kind of engage onto him. He gets pulled back, but there is a knockup that lands onto Piglet, who's going to get destroyed by Yasuo. There is a cleanup kill that comes back onto Shiro, but at this point, everyone else is kind of choked out, and it's too little too late, and they get this chase down on the Max Strobo. Now there's basically no front line left for their team, so the side of Clutch is going to try and defend their inhibitor turrets, but there's just no one to stop Blabber for going for that body slam, and those low cooldowns of Yasuo at level 16 onwards, able to get that second ult off in a row.
Capitalizing on quite a few plays as they make their way to the Nexus. And
there's a third one.
Oh my word.
A lot of Yasuo ults that game.
Look at that gold graph. It just shows you how back and forth this game was.
Yeah, really kind of a game that got away from Clutch Gaming.
Ooh.
Despite getting that lead, the very even damage distribution of Cloud9 providing too much for the side of Clutch Gaming.
That's ridiculous. For everybody to do that consistent amount of damage, it kind of just tells you a story where if you met up with that guy, he probably took you down.
I think the most impressive one is the Gragas. I mean, in a team comp with Yasuo, Jhin, and Singed all doing a fair amount of AoE damage, he kept up with them that entire time. Very surprising to see.
Absolutely. Well, I got to give it to him. All those ultimates, he was a marksman with those casts, drinking people under the table. And even when he wasn't, he was still throwing them with the idea is, everyone I don't throw, I miss. So screw it.
Yeah, and that's definitely the case where there were so many threats on the team that everyone else was trying to get killed first. And so he's sitting in the middle of the fight, just barreling people all over the place. And now, out of nowhere, he's always the last guy left alive. So was able to pick up a ton of damage over the course of those fights.
So looking at Cloud9 now, 8-1 as they move forward, kind of putting a stopper on that Clutch Gaming Academy 4-win streak. But C9 looking good again with the changing and variable roster. Now having Golden Glue back in there, Smoothie back to the bot, and Keith finally in there, kind of breaking up the Zazel.
Yeah, it definitely shows, once again, to what we were saying before, they have an unbelievable roster of talented players. Finding the exact right lineup that's going to work both in the LCS and Academy, still evading them a little bit, but no question about their talent, and it's really on the rest of the league to quickly figured out how they synergized well enough to overcome the talent that they're against with C9.
We'll see if they can do it. Mark and I are going to step away for a break, but we will be right back with Game 3 of the afternoon as Team Liquid takes on Counter Logic Gaming. Don't go anywhere.